So that was an introduction to what quantum is. We now look at how quantum evolved. So on the slide in your screen, you can see some questions for which physicists were looking for answers. And if you look at the questions, you'll notice that there are two things which are common across all these questions. One is temperature and the other is color. So there is some mention of temperature or heat and some mention of color in all of these questions. So the basic idea is people were trying to study the relationship between temperature and color, in the sense that as you start applying more heat to an object, it starts emitting light as it burns. But that light or that flame is not always yellow in color. As you increase the heat, some objects glow red hot, some things glow to an extent called blue hot, white hot, and so on. So they they emit different colors when different amounts of heat are applied to them. So and color, obviously we know from our prior knowledge of light chapter that light of different colors has different frequency. We've studied about the spectrum of visible light, infrared, UV, and all that. So the basic idea is every frequency corresponds to a different color, or every frequency range, let's say, corresponds to a different color. So if at different temperatures, if my object is emitting different colors, it means when I am emitting different amounts of heat energy to it, that is when I'm subjecting it to different temperatures, the heat waves emitted or the radiation emitted has different frequencies. That is why it is showing different colors. So the idea here is there is a connection between temperature and frequency, and this connection and the nature of this connection is what people were trying to study. So that is how quantum physics came about. So the first observation in this regard was made by one Gustav Kirchhoff. He observed that for black bodies, and we'll see what black bodies are, the energy is a function of frequency and temperature. So the energy emitted by something called a black body depends on the temperature you put it through and the frequency of the radiation. He found out that energy is a function of these two, but he was not able to give the exact expression or equation for that. And then came Joseph Stephen. He confirmed through experiments that energy is directly proportional to the fourth power of temperature. But even he couldn't say anything about frequency. So what have we seen so far? We've seen that energy emitted by an object, specifically by a black body, is related to two things, to the temperature and to the frequency of radiation. It is related to temperature as E directly proportional to T to the power 4. And how is it related to the frequency? We don't yet know.